The thing is, we've got ropes tied around our feet and ankles if you have shoelaces, and you've got ropes tied around your waist if you've got like a drawstring. But the thing is, with these ropes, they are literally clothing the body. Okay? In the Image Clothing Company, shoelaces and drawstrings are some of the biggest things. We can tie one side over the other in a knot and twist the entire body. Okay? With any kind of thing we could call a rope on or around the body. And so, this might sound crazy to some, and this might be a lot of people's situations. On whatever end it's on, this is how I was until I was about 24 years old. I was tying both of my shoes to the right. So I take the left side of the lace and tie it over the right side of the lace on my left foot. But I'd also take the left side of the lace and tie it over the right side of the lace on my right foot. So both of my feet were being twisted to the right. Talk about a right-handed world. This is until I was 24 years old. From maybe like 4 years old, give or take, whenever I started tying shoes on my feet, right? Like 20 years of patterning of right-handed knots on my body, twisting my entire body. Anytime I'd ever have a drawstring or any kind of rope around my waistline, I was doing the same thing. Just tying a knot with the left side over the right side, tucking it underneath, and I was just twisting my entire body to the right. So this is 20 years of this happening for me personally, Evan Strong. And so, you know, my body's all twisted, and so that's why it just kind of slumps over. When people have bad posture, well, there's no such thing as posture. There's not. Like I addressed earlier, it's the mathematical truth of the only way the human body grows by itself in this universal human design. There's even mathematical opposing bends back and forth in the body from bottom to top. There's only one way that'll stand up. On Earth's vertical gravity pull and the horizontal surface of the planet Earth with this perpendicular 90-degree right angle. There's no possible opinion to what we're doing here under In The Image Clothing Company being just truth and valid and nothing we could decide or change. No sales pitch. Allowing the body to work, though, yeah, I mean, I've had to really rid all the patterning in my body from, first off, just tying shoes both to the right and tying drawstrings around my waist in a right-handed knot as well. But then again, like I'm saying, everything we do in life, we're doing it in our clothing, and we're essentially doing it through our clothing. Okay? So, I was approaching everything in life twisted for about 20 years. Okay? But there's two sides to the body, and I was never even able to get to the neutral, and then let alone trying to get over to the left side when I was always stuck on my right side. And so that's what I mean. Playing soccer, you know, I used to do a lot of flips. I do, you could call it parkour or free running, you know, gymnastic type stuff, but just outside. I do front flips, side flips, back flips, and then, you know, one-footed swing back flips. They call them gainers. One-footed swing front flips, they call them Websters. You know, stuff like this I did for a long time, from age like 12 until my early 20s. Yeah. Right. Up until even just a few years ago, like age 24, I was still doing flips if and where, right? Kind of, here and there. But yes, yeah. Crazy. So because the point is, a lot of this stuff just developed a lot of deep patterning in my body because my body was doing these things within ropes that were twisting my body to only one side. And then you do something like a one-footed swinging flip, and only one side of your body is doing this really big swinging motion, and your other side of your body isn't. So that's just really imbalanced and just torquing on your hips, just twisting your whole body and your spine. And anyway, you know, that's a lot of what I've done in my life, is a lot of sports. Okay, I mountain biked a lot. You know, once I got to be about 17 years old into my early 20s, I did so much mountain biking here in the state of Utah, the United States of America, where we're based, as in the Image Clothing Company. We're on the Rocky Mountain Range, you know, down in southern Utah. It kind of branches off into the Mojave Desert. It's a little bit different of a area, you know, St. George area here in Utah. But up here in Utah County, where I'm at currently, this is where I grew up. And you can see these mountains back here behind me if you can. You just see them in the Image Clothing Company videos, just the nature and the landscape in Utah. Down in St. George, Utah, where we're actually based, as in the Image Clothing Company. You know, I rode a lot of mountain bikes down there, just meaning biking on mountains, on trails and rocks and dirt. And I was doing this within my shoes, tied to the right side, and my drawstrings, or a rope around my waist, tied in a right-handed knot. You know, and that's the problem, is, you know, you picture something like biking, and just this motion of the feet, up and down and up and down and up and down, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. But while this is happening, there's a knot of a rope around the ankle that's flexing and extending, lifting up and pointing down, dorsiflexing and plantar extending, if you will. Wow, yeah, terminology. I like to say it like that. Okay. Plantar flexion, but really it's plantar extension, in a sense. Here's the thing. You know, my whole body was twisted by literal ropes. And as I'm saying, this is nothing new to a lot of people. They're like, well, that's how I've always tied my shoes. I had no idea that would make my body imbalanced. But other people might think that's insane, to tie one side of your body the same direction as the other side of your body off to the right when you're trying to walk forward, you know. We need to tie knots on our bodies to the center line of the body. Essentially, right-handed knots on our left side and left-handed knots on our right side. You know, over toward the center line of the body with shoelaces is how we have to tie the knots, because there's two sides to the body. We've got 2 feet evenly opposing the center line of the human being, and they grip arches, or they grip the ground and create this arch structure, okay, to support the rest of the entire body. But there's one on the left and there's one on the right. Feet, right? Wow, yeah, in this universal human design. So anyway, a lot of mountain biking, a lot of sports, not just soccer, but that's what I played the most. And this is the other thing, is I'm right-handed, so tying a rope around my right foot, a shoelace, okay, but tying it in a way where it's pulling my foot off to the outside of my body constantly with this knot around my ankle. And then I'm kicking a ball like forward and across my body to the left. My right foot, right, is coming forward and across my body to the left side as you kick a soccer ball or a football or any ball, really. Essentially, right? But yeah. So I'm fighting a knot around my ankle, you know, in everything I did for about 20 years. Personally. And a lot of people deal with this, and this is why we are in the Image Clothing Company. Okay. So those are some big things.